Imagine this. You're on stage, the lights are blinding, the crowd is roaring, and this is the moment you've dreamed of your entire life. But as you open your mouth to sing, something goes wrong. Your voice cracks, the pitch wavers, and you can feel the disappointment in the audience's eyes. It's a nightmare, isn't it? The kind that haunts your every waking thought, that twists your dreams into something unrecognizable. What if I told you that this nightmare isn't just a figment of your imagination, but a very real future if you don't take action right now? Yes, right now. Because the mistakes you're making, those little habits you barely notice, are quietly sabotaging your dreams. They're the cracks in the foundation of everything you've worked for, the tiny, insidious errors that will tear down everything you've built if you don't stop them immediately. You see, the path to becoming a K-pop idol is treacherous. It's not just about talent, it's about perfection. Every note, every breath, every single sound you produce must be flawless. And the brutal truth, most people fail. They fall short not because they aren't good enough, but because they didn't catch these mistakes in time. And that's where we begin today, unveiling the 10 shocking singing mistakes that are holding you back, mistakes that you must eliminate if you ever hope to make it in this cutthroat world. So I ask you, are you ready to face the truth? Are you prepared to confront these mistakes head-on, to strip away the illusions and see the reality of what's holding you back? If you're brave enough to continue, then keep watching. But be warned, what you discover today may change everything you thought you knew about singing and about yourself. Number 1, ignoring breath control. Let's start with the one thing most people overlook, the invisible force that can make or break your performance: breath control. It sounds simple, doesn't it? Breathe in, breathe out. But when you're on stage, under the pressure of thousands of eyes, that simple act becomes a battleground. You might think you have it under control, that your voice is strong enough to carry you through. But what happens when the adrenaline kicks in? When your heart is racing and your lungs can't keep up? Your voice starts to falter, your notes slip out of reach, and suddenly you're exposed, vulnerable. Without proper breath control, your dreams of becoming a K-pop idol are nothing more than a fantasy. You need to master this skill, to make it second nature, so that when the pressure is on, you can rely on it to carry you through. Because if you don't, you'll find yourself gasping for air, both literally and figuratively, as your dreams slip away from you. Number 2, over-singing. Have you ever found yourself pushing too hard, trying to force your voice to do more than it's capable of? It's a common mistake, especially when you're desperate to impress. You think that by giving it your all, by reaching for those impossible notes, you'll stand out. But the reality? You're damaging your voice, straining it beyond its limits, and setting yourself up for failure. The same goes for your voice. When you push it too hard, you're risking vocal fatigue, strain, and even permanent damage. And once your voice is gone, so are your chances of making it as a K-pop idol. You need to learn when to pull back, when to let your voice rest. It's not about giving less, it's about giving just enough. Find the balance, the sweet spot where your voice shines without breaking. Because if you don't, you'll find yourself stuck in a cycle of over-singing and underperforming, your dreams slipping further out of reach with every strained note. Number 3, neglecting vocal warm-ups. Your voice is a muscle, and like any muscle, it needs to be warmed up before it can perform at its best. But too many people think they can skip this step, that it's not important. And that's where they go wrong. Neglecting your vocal warm-ups is like setting yourself up for failure before you've even begun. Your voice needs time to adjust, to find its strength, to prepare for the demands you're about to place on it. Without this preparation, you're risking strain, injury, and a subpar performance. Number 4, ignoring proper posture. Your posture is the foundation of your voice, the base upon which everything else is built. When your posture is off, your voice is off, and no amount of talent or practice can compensate for that. Think of your body as an instrument. When it's properly aligned, it resonates with power and clarity. But when it's out of alignment, the sound is muffled, distorted, and weak. That's what happens when you ignore your posture. Your voice becomes constrained, your range limited, your performance lacking in the depth and power it needs to captivate an audience. Please make sure you pay attention to your posture, make it a habit, and watch as your voice transforms. Number 5, failing to hydrate. Without proper hydration, your vocal cords dry out, becoming brittle, inflexible, and prone to injury. And when that happens, your voice suffers. By making hydration a priority, by ensuring you're always properly fueled, you can protect your voice and ensure it's always ready to perform. Number 6, overlooking the power of rest. In a world that glorifies hustle, it's easy to forget the importance of rest. But when it comes to singing, rest is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Your voice is a delicate instrument, one that needs time to recover, to heal, to rebuild. And when you ignore the need for rest, you're setting yourself up for failure. Your body, your mind, your voice will be exhausted, drained, unable to perform at its best. By giving your voice the time it needs to recover, you're not just protecting it, you're ensuring its longevity, its strength, its power. Number 7, neglecting emotional connection. Singing isn't just about hitting the right notes, it's about telling a story, conveying emotion, connecting with your audience on a deeper level. But too often, singers focus so much on the technical aspects of their performance that they forget about the emotional ones. And when that happens, their performance falls flat, lacking the depth and resonance it needs to truly captivate. Neglecting emotional connection is like painting a picture without any color. Sure, the lines are there, the shapes are correct, but the picture is lifeless, dull, uninspiring. The same goes for your singing. This mistake is so subtle, yet so powerful. It's the kind of mistake that's easy to overlook, yet impossible to ignore. But it doesn't have to be that way. By focusing on the emotion behind your singing, by truly connecting with the music, with your audience, you can elevate your performance to something truly special. Number 8, ignoring your unique voice. In a world full of talented singers, it's easy to fall into the trap of imitation, to try to sound like someone else, to mimic their style, their tone, their voice. But in doing so, you're ignoring the most important thing, your own unique voice. And that's a mistake that could cost you everything. When you try to imitate someone else, you're hiding your true potential, your true talent, your true self. And in doing so, you're robbing yourself of the chance to truly stand out, to truly succeed. This mistake is so common, yet so easily avoided. All it takes is a little bit of confidence, a little bit of self-belief, a little bit of trust in your own voice. By embracing your unique voice, by allowing it to shine, you can set yourself apart from the crowd. You can become something truly special. Number 9, overlooking vocal health. Your voice is your most valuable asset, your most powerful tool, your most precious gift. But too often, singers neglect their vocal health, pushing their voices to the limit without giving them the care they need. And when that happens, the consequences can be devastating. The same goes for your voice. Without proper care, it will weaken, it will suffer, and eventually, it will fail. And once your voice is gone, so are your dreams of becoming a K-pop idol. By making vocal health a priority, by taking the time to care for your voice, you can protect it, preserve it, and ensure it's always ready to perform. Because if you don't, you'll find yourself voiceless, your dreams of becoming a K-pop idol slipping further out of reach with every neglected note. Number 10, underestimating the power of practice. Finally, we come to the most important mistake of all, the one that underlies all the others, the one that separates the successful from the unsuccessful, the dreamers from the achievers. And that mistake? Without practice, all the talent in the world won't be enough to get you where you want to go. Without practice, your skills will stagnate, your progress will stall, and your dreams of becoming a K-pop idol will remain just that, dreams. This mistake is so common, yet so easily avoided. All it takes is a little bit of discipline, a little bit of dedication, a little bit of commitment to your craft. By making practice a priority, By dedicating yourself to constant improvement, you can achieve mastery, you can achieve greatness, you can achieve your dreams. So here we are, at the end of this journey, and the question you must ask yourself is this: what will you do now? Will you continue making these mistakes, letting them hold you back, letting them destroy your dreams? Or will you take action? Will you make the changes you need to make? Will you fight for your dreams with everything you have? So what will it be? The choice is yours. But remember this: you don't have to do it alone. You're not just a dreamer. You're part of something bigger, something powerful, something unstoppable. You're part of a movement dedicated to transforming 1,000 wannabe K-pop idols into true stars. And together, we will fight, we will strive, we will succeed. And remember, keep dreaming, keep striving, and soon you'll be shining.